Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining in. My name is Melissa. I'm one of the international recruitment specialists here at the University of Houston, also a proud alumni, class of 2014. Thank you so much. I'm being joined by a few of my campus partners, and I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Kevin. I'm a student ambassador here. I'm from Pasadena, Texas. I'm majoring in finance, and I'm a proud member of the class of 2021, and go Cougs.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexis. I am from Houston, Texas. My major is hotel and restaurant management, and I am class of 2021. Go Cougs.
Hello everyone, my name is James Simpson. I'm the manager of the Transfer Advising Program, and I'm also here from Houston.
Awesome, let's get started.
Let's write a story. One where you're the hero, one where you change the world, one research project, one business idea, one blueprint at a time. A story that starts with the University of Houston. Because we're a university of change, and we're evolving every single day. We're history in the making, sculpting the future of tomorrow, one student at a time. We're forever forward, bursting with inspiration and brimming with possibility. Right in the heart of the city that sent a man to the moon. That's home to the world's largest medical center. The place that showed the world that even in the toughest of times, we are unbreakable, unstoppable, and undeniably better than ever. But this isn't just our story. It's yours, and hers, and his. Because here at the University of Houston, we're still writing our legacy, and we've been waiting for you. Will you join us?
I don't know what it is about that video, but every time I see the Unleash Your Power, I feel like a... So we're gonna get started with a little bit about the city of Houston. So like Gabby mentioned in the video, the city of Houston is home to the largest medical center in the world. We're also the fourth largest city in the United States. Coming up soon will actually be the third. We're gonna possibly surpass Chicago, so that's kind of awesome. That just means that our city is gonna continue to grow. We are the headquarters, or excuse me, there are 24 Fortune 500 companies headquartered within the city of Houston, making our city the #1 place to start your career. So Alexis, what's been your experience living here in the city of Houston?
So I absolutely love this city. I grew up here. I definitely plan on staying here. There's so many things to do here, whether you're a theater person, you're a foodie, you're into sports, there's something for everybody. You can't be bored in the city. It's so awesome.
Isn't that the truth? And so I'm not originally from the city of Houston. This is my home away from home, and I've absolutely loved every minute of it. So I know that the Museum and Theater District, which is right down the street from my house, which is absolutely amazing, is just like bursting with just vibrant things for us to do. And like Alexis mentioned, those professional sports teams, I am a Rocket fan. Only because of this presentation am I wearing my U of H shirt, but I am a huge Rockets fan. And so for Kevin, because you know the city of Houston is big on food and culture, what are some of your favorite restaurants here within the city of Houston, or even on campus?
So I'm not a foodie by any means, and so I can't even begin to say the best restaurant in Houston because there's just so much that I still haven't even experienced. But from what I have tried, some of the best restaurants I've had are like Dumpling King, Hot Dottie, Taco Brothers, Christian's Tailgate if you want a burger. There's just so many good restaurants around the city of Houston, and the city's so big, and that's one of the best parts, just getting with friends and going out and trying food at random spots around town because there's just so much good food to try.
Nice. Just a little bit about the University of Houston, right? We are a powerhouse, and it's not just a catchphrase. We have over 46,000 students studying here with us, making us the third largest institution within the state of Texas. We are a Tier 1 research institution as well. And so Kevin and Alexis, what have been your experiences with some of the research opportunities that the University of Houston has to offer?
So one of the cool research experiences that I've had is we have this research fair in the library every year. And I've gotten to walk around and see hundreds of students who have done research throughout the year, whether they're in engineering or biology. They all do their own research, and you get to walk around and see what their findings are. And it's really interesting because you learn so much, and these people are getting really great experience, and it looks great on resumes, and especially for people trying to go to medical school or graduate school.
Nice. And what about you, Alexis?
So myself, I haven't had too much experience in research yet, hopefully will be, but I do know that they do research in all disciplines, even in my college, hotel and restaurant management. Some of my TAs, the teacher assistants, they're conducting research, and it's really fun because they'll submit surveys that the students can participate in, so you really feel like you are a part of the research.
Absolutely amazing. And here at the University of Houston, right, it's not just a degree. We offer about 120 undergraduate majors, and they're located within our 16 academic colleges. We do have a 21-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which is insane for the 46,000 that we do have here at the university. Also 5 professional schools. And so Kevin, you are within the Bauer School of Business. How's that been?
Oh, it's been amazing. Bauer is such an amazing college that we have here on campus. There's so many great opportunities. We have a career fair with hundreds of companies that come out just because we're in the backyard. I know a couple slides ago, it said there's several Fortune 500 companies headquartered here, and they all come out to see us because we're so near them. It doesn't cost them a lot to come out here. Also, Bauer does a great job of holding a lot of on-campus interviews. They have lockers, so you can show up in your suit and put your clothes in one of the lockers. And then after you finish your interview, you can go back and change into your regular clothes and then go to class. So they do a really good job. And to show for that, 75% of our students in Bauer actually get an internship during their time in college, which is super important because everybody gets book skills, but the on-job experience is what really makes the difference.
It really does. And the fact that U of H offers so many of those different opportunities, not just within the Bauer School of Business, just makes wanting to be a Cougar that much more special. So just a little bit about the transfer student success here at the University of Houston. That we've definitely seen a significant increase from 2013 to now. And so there's definitely a value with being a transfer. So it's definitely okay if you have to start somewhere else. Just know that once you transfer over to the University of Houston, you are still going to be successful here. And so Alexis, you are also one of our transfer students as well. What's your experience been, transferring into U of H?
Yeah, so my transferring experience was super seamless. All of my classes transferred with no problem. I really don't feel that I missed out any coming, not starting at UH as a freshman. So I absolutely love transferring. Best decision I could have ever made.
Nice. And the greatest thing is whether you're a transfer student or a freshman student, by the time you get to the university, there's so many things for you to engage in. And so, you really do get acclimated to being at U of H. So here at the university, diversity isn't just a buzzword, and you can take that from one of the international specialists on campus, right? There are over 45 languages spoken on our campus. We are the second most ethnically diverse institution within the US, with 46 states represented on our campus and over 130 countries. So Kevin, what does the diversity on our campus, what does that mean to you? How has that affected you while you've been here?
It's been amazing, honestly. And I think it just adds so much to the classroom experience, especially when you're having discussions, because you have people from all around the world and they all have super different outlooks on how the world works and stuff. And they add that into the discussions. And so it just makes for a really effective learning environment. And also besides just in the classroom, I've made so many friends from all around the world. And I'm a big person who wants to travel a lot. And so it feels really nice that I know one day if I want to travel somewhere, I probably have friends in that part of the world.
Right. That is so true. The level of connection that you can have just by being on campus is just phenomenal, right? And then of course, the student involvement on our campus it's booming all the time. We have over 570 student organizations. I know during undergrad, I was in 8 of them. how, I have no idea. Different housing options. I do believe there are about 9 different residential halls on our campus. You know, there's sorority and fraternity life, Greek life on campus. So Kevin and Alexis, what have your experiences so far as student involvement? Are you in any organizations? Like, how's that been for your time here?
Yeah, so I'm in a few professional organizations, such as the Finance Association, because that is my major, and I do hope to get a career afterwards. So that's really good with networking and everything. But besides for just the professional ones, there's so many cool activities that happen around. And I'm a big athletics fan, and I'm a diehard Cougar. So going to the basketball games is my favorite thing to do on campus. I go to every single one of them. I'm a diehard, and that's just really enhanced my experience here at UH, and it's made it so much fun. And our basketball team is really good, which is awesome.
Yeah, true. And what about you, Alexis? Have you just, been engaged with other or different student organizations while you've been here?
Yeah, so I'm currently in my college. I'm a part of the student chapter for the National Association for Catering Events, because I would like to get into the event side of hospitality. Last year I was in a volunteering club, and then also, me and Kevin are both student ambassadors, so that's another great way to get involved. And like Kevin mentioned, there's athletic events. Lots of the student organizations put on really fun activities for students on campus, like there's movies, and there's like Halloween parties, and just lots of free stuff. There's usually food involved. It's always a good time.
All right, guys, we're going to get into some of the admissions processes, okay? So you've learned a little bit about what the University of Houston has to offer so far as majors are concerned, research opportunities, learned a little bit about what the student involvement looks like. So let's kind of figure out how to get you into the university, right? So what you'll start with is an application online. We use 2 different platforms. We use Apply Texas as well as the Common Application. Step 2, you'll be paying your application fee. You can do that online via those platforms, and then you're going to send in your transcripts. Easy steps, right? So you can send your transcripts in electronically. You can do it via regular postal mail if you'd like, or if your university or your community college can't send it electronically, directly over to our office for us to process. Once you submit your application online, you are going to get what we call a MyUH ID number, right? So that is going to be your number to access your to-do list, right? And to access your MyUH portal. All of the communications that you're going to get, all of your updates, they're going to happen through that MyUH portal as well. So that number is super, super important. Okay, so once we have everything that we need from you, let's fast forward, right? Let's pretend that you've gotten admitted to the University of Houston, woo, and everyone will say woo, right? You're gonna get an admit packet. A lot of the times your admit packet's gonna kind of be a virtual thing. So via email, just letting you know what your next steps are. So that's gonna be submitting your final transcript, right, with the grades for the semester, and then just, signing up for your orientation, making sure that everything that you need is set up to begin and have a successful start to your time at the university, okay? All right, so if you meet general admissions requirements for the University of Houston, but you don't meet the requirements for your chosen major, you're gonna receive an email that says, hey, you meet the general admissions requirements for the university, and so you'll have to request a new major at the time, right? So you can email the university at admissions@uh.edu with your new major choice. And the reason why that would happen, so let's say you're wanting to get into Bauer like Kevin, right? And the Bauer School of Business requires that you have 30 credit hours or more and a 3.0 grade point average, but you don't quite meet the GPA requirement, but you meet the 2.5 general admissions to get in, then we'll still say, you know what, you're admissible into the University of Houston, but these are the majors that you're admissible into. Okay, and so there are quite a few majors that do have an additional requirement aside from Bauer. That's going to be our College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. They have a few prerequisite course requirements, as well as our College of Hotel and Restaurant Management. Okay, so let's say you've submitted your application and you may have been denied or you didn't meet the general admissions requirements for your first choice major. The University of Houston does offer what we call recalculation, right? So like, let's say this spring semester, you're still taking some courses, and by the end of the semester, it's gonna boost that GPA up. You can fill out our recalculation form, and we will review your re-review your application with the new grades that you're gonna send to us, okay? So you can be reviewed for your first choice major, just to make sure that you get to the university and the program it is that you really, really want, okay? If you are not a resident of the state of Texas, so if you're coming from a university or a college outside of the state, you can definitely be eligible to pay resident tuition if you receive a scholarship of $1,000 or more, a qualifying scholarship of $1,000 or more, all right? So let's say you've been in the state of Texas for a little while, and when you go onto your MyUH account, you see that you may have to pay out-of-state tuition. You can definitely reach out to residency@uh.edu so we can get that updated for you, okay? We wanna make sure that you are getting the best value for when you're here at the university. All right, let's have a quick discussion about money, all right? So the estimated tuition and fees at the University of Houston, you'll see the resident versus the non-resident. And that's based off of 15 credit hours each semester. So that's for your fall semester and for your spring semester. So it is different for our residents and non-residents, but like I mentioned before, you can be eligible to pay resident tuition if you receive a qualifying scholarship. Okay, and so then down at the bottom, you'll see some information on just estimated costs if you decide to live on campus, which I definitely recommend if it's feasible for you to do so, or if you decide that you're gonna live at home, right? And again, this is just estimates, okay? So Kevin, can you tell us a little bit about, for you, do you live on campus? Do you commute? How's that going?
So my first year at UH, I was a commuter, and I used to commute to campus, and that was all fine. It was still a good experience because I joined a lot of clubs. However, during that time, I saved up a lot of money. Over the summer, I got a good internship. And so right now I am currently living on campus. It's been such a great experience. I too would definitely recommend living on campus. It just makes things a lot easier. And there's been studies that show people who live on campus actually get higher GPAs. So it's a win-win. And it just helps you stay more involved. It makes it easier on you. So I definitely have loved my time living here, and it's been really great for me.
Right? It definitely is a win-win. Who else can like wake up about 20 minutes before class, shake your hair, and then walk, right? So if it's feasible for you to do so, definitely I would tell you to look into living on campus. And so then, of course, the University of Houston, like I mentioned before, we offer scholarships, right? That Transfer Excellence Scholarship is $1,000 per year, right? So that's $500 per semester. And we offer that for the fall 2020 applicants as well. And there's not a separate application for you to fill out. Just by submitting your FAFSA, if you're eligible, and submitting your application to the university, we will review you for that scholarship. So it's not the only option for our incoming transfer students. We just really like to highlight that one because when you apply to the university, you can be considered for that Transfer Excellence Scholarship. Alexis, have you had any experience with applying for scholarships, possibly even receiving scholarships?
Yeah, so I actually was able to get the Transfer Excellence Scholarship. So I was, for the past 2 years, I've been getting $500 every semester, and that has been a huge help with just paying for my supplies, my school, my books and things like that. And then additionally, there's a bunch of other resources, even on the UH website for scholarships, whether it's in the academic colleges or just for the university of whole, and even outside the university scholarships.
Awesome. So the University of Houston does offer something what we call its UH&4. And so essentially it's a fixed tuition rate for the 4 years of studying here at the university. Even if you have over 30 credit hours, you can still be eligible for fixed tuition. So Kevin, have you been able to apply for that fixed tuition option?
Yes, I have. I did get the fixed tuition option, and I think it's been great because a lot of people don't realize, but the cost of tuition does go up 1 or 2% every year just with inflation. And so this really helps to keep the costs down as low as possible. You want the amount that you paid when you first came to be the amount you pay when you're leaving. And I think that's been great. A great thing about UH&4 as well that the fixed tuition rate doesn't have is that you get priority enrollment in classes, which is amazing because it allows you to get the best professors possible at the best times. So you're not having to take 8:30 classes with a iffy professor.
Gotcha. Well, I know for me, I liked the 8:30 classes, the iffy professors, not so much. So if you are ready to submit that application to the University of Houston as an incoming transfer student, and transfer for us means that you have 15 or more completed credit hours and a minimum of a 2.5 GPA for all our non-impacted majors, and we're going to go over what those non-impacted majors are here in a moment. And if you have less than a 2.5 GPA but more than a 2.25, you'll go under what we call individual review. Okay, and so what that means is if you are coming into a non-impacted major and you don't quite meet that GPA requirements, we will still review you for admission into the University of Houston. Then James, if you'd like to add just a little bit more about, getting ready to start your transfer process.
Sure. One of the great things about transferring to University of Houston is that for so many of our majors, you are guaranteed to be accepted. If you have the GPA and the minimum hours earned, you will be accepted. So Bauer College of Business, Hotel Restaurant Management, programs that our students here have been talking to you about, College of Engineering, College of Natural Sciences, if you're interested in a kinesiology major, a communications major, so many of our popular majors guaranteed to accept you. Now on those deadlines, you don't need to wait until your spring grades have posted. You don't need to wait until the summertime to apply if you are already eligible. So if at this moment you have the minimum requirements met, let's go ahead and apply, send your transcript so we can admit you early, so you can attend orientation early, and so you can sign up for classes early.
Definitely. And so our application deadlines, you're going to see down at the bottom. If you're wanting to come in for this summer, May 8th is going to be the final deadline. And for the fall, we've extended the deadline to July 17th. And so what we mean by deadline, that means that you have to have that application filled out online via Apply Texas or the Common App. You definitely have to have those transcripts submitted by that time as well. Unless you filled out that recalculation form, we'll give you some additional information once you have that filled out. So some of our majors or some of our programs that have additional requirements, you're going to see here as well. So like I mentioned earlier, like Kevin, the Bauer School of Business, they have a credit hour and a GPA requirement that's going to be a little bit higher than that 2.5 for general admissions. The same thing goes with the Hotel and Restaurant Management College, our College of Education, College of Technology, and our College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Our College of Architecture and College of the Arts, their requirements are going to be a little bit different, right? So if you're interested in music, if you're interested in dance and theater, we want to make sure that those majors are interested in you as well. So there is an audition component that you do have to go through in order to get into those specific programs. Our College of Architecture does require a portfolio submission that you can upload in your MyUH account, which is why when you apply, it's definitely a good idea to make sure that you log on to that MyUH account and you see that to-do list and all the information that you have to submit to them. So if you guys have, any more questions so far as the University of Houston and what it takes to transfer into U of H, you can definitely reach out to myself or any one of the admissions team. We do have virtual advising that you are able to log on, just set up an appointment for us to give you a call and just to check to see if you meet those major requirements, as well as for the transfer advising program. If you decided that you want to have an unofficial calculation of your GPA or just discuss transferable credit hours, you can definitely reach out to TAP and they'll be able to assist you a little bit further. And so James, I don't know if you would like to just kind of discuss how that would go for the students that are interested in those the resources that TAP has to offer.
Of course. So the transfer advising program is here to meet with you as early as possible. If you decided that you're coming to UH next semester, great. But if you've decided you may come 2 years from now, even better, because we want to meet with you as early as possible to make sure you're on the right track, taking the right courses for your intended major, that you have a great seamless transfer experience, and we're here to help you. We are very easy to find on the UH website, or just Google us. Just Google UH Transfer Advising Program and you will have no problem finding us whatsoever. We can meet with you through Zoom. We can meet with you through Skype. We can meet with you through some other social media platform. When we're all back on campus, of course, we're available to meet with you there. But we have advisors that represent all of the UH undergraduate academic colleges. They are all here to meet with you, to help you make sure you have that successful experience. And so we are very flexible. When the coronavirus situation is over, we'll be back at the local community colleges advising students there. And so use us as a resource to prepare and plan, because our job is to make sure that if at all possible, you lose no credit hours. Every single one of your courses that you're taking at the community college, or even dual credit in high school through the community college, transfers to your intended major. And so you can begin with us as a junior, having taken those 60 hours of freshman and sophomore level classes, and it was as if you were a UH student and you are saving money and you are on the right track, making perfect progress towards your graduation. The University of Houston has transfer equivalency guides. These are very easy to find if you navigate through the UH website via the admissions portal. However, just Google it. We always tell students to Google UH transfer guides. You'll have no problem finding them. Guides are there for all of our undergraduate majors. Now, these are extremely useful if you are coming to us from a Texas public institution. If you're coming to us from a private school, an out-of-state school, still useful, but they are formatted for colleges and universities that are on the Texas Common Course numbering system. So in every guide on the left side, the left column lists all the core courses that are transferable into your intended major, and on the right side, additional courses that are in the major, not necessarily core, but other things that you can transfer in. So for all our undergraduate majors, you can transfer in 66 lower level hours, and those are the best 66 hours that meet your degree requirements. So for example, our engineering major begins with Calculus 1. Well, if you've taken algebra or pre-cal to prepare for Calculus 1, that's fine. And those hours would not count against the 66-hour limit, because in the case of engineering, your degree begins with Calculus 1. So, you know, if you're coming to us from a school that's out of state, perhaps, these guides are what you want to follow also, because they list the courses that generally come in just cleanly from a non-Texas public institution. But the bottom line is, if you have any questions about what transfers, how to interpret the guides, we're here to meet with you. So reach out to us, email, phone call, an online appointment. We'll make sure that you understand these guides, you understand the right courses to take. Really, the rule of thumb is don't assume anything. If you have any questions whatsoever about what transfers, reach out to the University of Houston, reach out to the Transfer Advising Program, just like if you have any questions about how to fill out the application or how to understand the admissions requirements. That's what your admissions counselors are here for. So University of Houston wants you to have a seamless, successful transfer experience. And in fact, Kevin and Alexis, you were both transfer students. Did you use any of these resources as you were preparing to transfer?
Oh yeah, I used the transfer equivalency guide my entire time that I was at Lone Star College, which is a local college here in the city of Houston. I used it, you know, my entire time there to make sure that all my classes were going to transfer. And even while I was at Lone Star prior to coming to UH, I did go and meet with TAP just to make sure that I was on the right track, and I was, and everything was great.
Great. Our transfer equivalency guides also list certain core categories that you can follow at your local community college. So Alexis mentioned Lone Star College. So for example, if you're a student at Lone Star College and your particular transfer guide says choose a creative arts course, you don't have to look up the University of Houston's core categories for creative arts, language, philosophy and culture, social behavioral sciences, and so on. You can go off of your particular institution. So if you attend Lone Star, you choose a creative arts course on Lone Star's core approved list. That goes for any Texas public community college. It can be a Houston area community college. It can be a community college on the other side of the state. These are formatted for your institution. So you don't have to worry about how certain courses match up with the University of Houston. If you need a certain course, it's listed there. If any course in a particular core category will do, then you just use your institution's guide. Now, also, the University of Houston has another resource to help you plan in advance. And again, you can find these things by navigating through the UH homepage. Just Google UH Academic Maps. You'll find a website under the Office of the Provost that has what's known as academic maps for every undergraduate major. And essentially, these maps are degree plans. They're all formatted the same. And each one of these degree plans are formatted taking into account the course sequence. So in the first year, you have the courses that typically you would begin with. The second year, second semesters, you have the courses that would naturally follow in the first year. So not only does it list the courses that you will take to complete your degree, but it also lists them in the order that you would generally need to take them, satisfying course prerequisites. So for example here, our accounting Bachelor of Business Administration, we have your first year, second year, third year, fourth year, your fall and spring semesters, and when you would take a particular accounting course, when you would take the next accounting course. Some of this is fluid, some of this can be moved around a little bit, but generally speaking, these are also going to list the typical sequence of progression. So you come to us as ready to begin your junior year in accounting, and you already know exactly what you're probably going to take your first semester at the University of Houston as an accounting major. And that goes for all majors at UH. So the University of Houston has a lot of resources to help make your transition and journey to UH easy and successful. And if you're not sure where to find them or how to use these resources, we're here to help you. The Office of Admissions, our student ambassadors, the transfer advising program, we're here to help you to have a successful experience becoming a new Coog.
Definitely. And if you haven't gasped it by now, the University of Houston is definitely worth it, right? So the numbers that you're gonna see on your screen, it's just gonna go over the average annual college cost, and that's nationwide for any university that's offering a 4-year degree, so a bachelor's degree, the typical amount of debt after graduation, and then the average salary after attending a 4-year college. So look at those red numbers, right? That area of red. So that just proves that the University of Houston is definitely worth it. The average annual college cost at U of H is about $13,000, right? Whereas the national average is at $19,000. So we're well below the national average. The total amount of debt that a student may accrue after receiving a 4-year degree, nationally it's at about $24,000. And yet again, the University of Houston going below that national average at about $19,000. And my favorite number, that average salary after attending, right? That national average right now is at about $41,000. Okay, so you come to the University of Houston, you transfer in, you complete out your degree, and the average salary is about $48,000, right? So that's money in your pocket. Okay, and so that's definitely why the University of Houston has been deemed the best value college by the Princeton Review, Forbes, and the U.S. News and World Report. And so it's definitely worth it. Okay, and so I just want to make sure that, you know, from all of this, you gain the information that you need to transfer into U of H, but not only that, that you gain the resources that you need to help you, right, with that application process, getting those transfer credits in. Alexis and Kevin, I know that you can definitely speak to that, that transfer process and how the University of Houston is definitely worth it.
Yeah, definitely. So I've had so many great experiences here at UH. I've learned so much. UH definitely helped me get my internship, and that's going to help me out in the long run getting a career. But besides that, I've met some of my best friends that I'll have for life at this school. And it's just been such a great experience. I've had some of the most fun I've had here. I've had some of the most academically challenging times that have really paid off. And it's really all just going to work out in the long run. So UH is a great school, definitely worth it.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely feel that UH, at least personally, was the perfect step after coming from my community college. I, came in, hit the ground running. My classes have been great. I've been able to get some awesome internships. I already have some opportunities potentially for when I graduate in about a year and a half. So things are really great. I just can't stop smiling. I love it.
That is amazing. So we, of course, want to thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you reach out to the Office of Admissions and our transfer advising program if you have any additional questions, and hopefully we'll see you on campus.